Call the meeting to order. Let's everybody stand. Prayer by Pastor Greg Young from Cherry Mountain Baptist Church, and then remain standing for the pledge.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the opportunity we have to come before you, that we may ask that you would give wisdom to these that are in the positions of authority, that they would do the things, God, that would bring honor and glory to your name, and that would be able to help all of the citizens that are around. Help us, Lord, as just your creatures, God, of your creation, that we may do things that bring honor and glory to your name, that we may look out to those that are around us. And God, we just look to you to help us and to make us to be more like your Son, Jesus Christ. For we ask this in your precious and holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Corbett.
Here.
Alderman Matthews.
Here.
Alderman Silver.
Here.
Alderman Spicer.
Here.
Alderman Wall.
Here. We need to adopt the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the minutes from the January 22nd study session and Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to welcome our visitors. Thank you all for attending. Public comment section. Do we have anybody signed up to speak? No? Okay. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, sir. Public hearings, we've got one tonight, ordinance 24-02, an ordinance amending the municipal code title 2, chapter 2, library board, section 2-210, schedule of fines, services, and damages. We'll open the public hearing. Assuming we got nobody here to speak, so we'll close it. Communication, Alderman Wall.
Nothing today.
Nothing to me? No.
Alderman Spicer.
I don't have anything, but look at all these people.
That's awesome. Alderman Matthews.
I don't have anything either.
Okay. City Attorney.
I'm going to go after Jerry. Let Jerry go.
Okay. City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. Today, concrete was poured for the primary area, the second floor of the new recreation center. So that we're seeing progress each week. So I'm happy about seeing that concrete pour. Progress has been slow on the splash pad building, but we have stressed to the contractor that we would like to have the splash pad operational for Memorial Day weekend. Because of limited parking in the area during the week, we plan to have the splash pad operational every Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the summer months until we get this whole complex finished up. Sage Road widening between Madeline and Cardinal is nearly completed. I expect to see it finished within the next few weeks if the weather stays good. Contractor for the wastewater treatment plant has had crews working 24 hours a day for the past few weeks. We all would like to see this plant up and running in the next month. I'm hopeful. Travis, you got this one? We're hopeful. Let's see here. Grading work is ongoing at the soccer complex. With Americana, and man, just around the corner, we are hoping that the contractor will be far enough along so that we can use the facility for the event. And then last, the Millersville interim city manager Tina Tobin reached out to us for some assistance. So I took a team of staff, went down to Millersville and met with her and the city attorney on Tuesday morning to answer questions. They had 2.5 pages of questions for us. So I think the meeting went well, and she was appreciative of our advice. And you each have a letter written to Millersville about assisting the calls for service The city of Goatsville has responded to Millersville likewise with the same protocols, because we each had looked at mutual aid agreements in the past, and so city manager Tim Ellis and I were in meetings today in Sumner County. We were having discussions and figuring out how best we can handle calls that may come up in Millersville. At the time when I mentioned mutual aid, as I say in my letter, they were planning on terminating just the chief, but they didn't know that almost 50 volunteer firefighters would resign, so lost the whole thing. So it goes from one thing where they're showing up and calling and asking us for assistance to who's going to respond now. They've got one firefighter, and that's all they have. So we don't want to be running down there. If we have available people and we have equipment, we will do the best we can. And that's why Tim and I put some protocols together that we thought would be helpful to Millersville, but without taking away quality services from our city. If that makes sense. But that's the letter we sent. And so the protocols are needed for the communication center, so they know who to call if there's a concern in Millersville.
Jerry, who is helping pay for that when they go to Millersville? The gas, the time of our...
It's us. I mean, that's the, yeah, when we had mutual aid, it's mutual. They help us. They help us, we help them. But right now,
They're not.
they thought we could until after our meeting Tuesday mornings came in. Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from her saying that they had terminated their chief. And I said, okay, well, we'll use mutual aid. But then the next day I find out they can't even provide mutual aid. So, yeah, so we have to, you know, obviously it's like in the situations we have, if there's a confirmed structure fire, we're not going to go down there on smoke alarm calls of that nature, and or medical calls, which is truly the responsibility of Sumner County for them, and Robinson County handles ours. So in general, auto accidents, we're not going to do that. And Chief and I have had discussions that he's back here somewhere too. Chief's back here. Him and I have been on the phone several times over this issue. We've looked at Phillipsville and their plan, what we were doing, and we felt that this would probably be the best we could do in trying to help them. Otherwise, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I really don't know
yeah.
at this point.
Figure it out.
That's right. That is salary.
The city has been made a party to a lawsuit regarding Hickory Springs Road. I think maybe I've had a couple of conversations with a couple of you individually, but if you'd like me to brief you about the lawsuit, we can go into executive session and we can discuss it.
Which means you
Need
need to
to
adjourn
make
the
it.
meeting.
Yes, we'll have to go into executive session out
Let's
of
make a motion for
public.
that.
Yes, we'll need a motion.
Motion to adjourn for a executive session.
Second. All right. Do we have to vote on it or just?
I would vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Down the line here. Sure, should be friendly. Yeah. Well, one time it was. Not. I don't know.
All right, we're back in session. Roll call there.
Mayor Corbett,
Here.
Alderman Matthews,
Here.
Alderman Silver,
Here.
Alderman Spicer.
Here.
Alderman Wall.
Here.
All right, we need to acknowledge our reports. Is there a motion?
Motion to acknowledge and file.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of the following resolutions. Resolution 24-01, a resolution adopting section 125 premium only plan for plan year ending March 31st, 2025. Got a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
This resolution is the same one that I bring every year before we do the insurance. This allows for us to withhold certain insurance deductions, pre-tax, to save our employees some money on their actual taxes every year.
Any discussion on this one?
I know we do this every year, it's always a large part of the document.
Okay, all right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of following ordinances. Ordinance 24-02, an ordinance amending the municipal code Title II, Chapter 2, Library Board, Section 2-210, Schedule of Fines, Services, and Damages, second reading. We discussed this at the last meeting. We've got a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. All right. All in favor, or roll call.
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall.
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Purchasing to approve or reject the single source purchase of a replica stagecoach with horses from Artisan Industry LLC in the amount of $54,000. City Administrator recommends approval. Got a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
Well, this has kind of been a dream for a long time, trying to, have our visitor center have this, have a stagecoach out front with some, horses, and, not real horses, obviously, but horses that we could have it as a draw for tourists to come to the center, to take a look at it, to be able to go inside, look at our museum. This is being designed in a way that, there will be like handrails so people could have a step to step up into it, not from the backside. And then they get pictures of it, and see someone taking a photo with someone standing outside with other people sitting inside. We went out to bid on this project, for requesting proposals, and we didn't have any success. And we thought we would get, one or two, but we didn't get any. Mandy did some research and about the strawberries that Portland have, who created those. They hold up, they're durable, they're weatherproof type of thing, or weather resistant, and she was able to get a hold of the Artisan Industry who designed and built those. And so we took a field trip. I had Kevin and Mandy, myself, and Derek, and we took Susan and Carol, our purchasing, because we want to make sure we did this right. And we all went down there. We took a look at their plant where they make their products, and then we went out to a site in Columbia where they're building a miniature golf course with a lot of the features that they build out there. And it was really nice, and I think it was a really good opportunity. So we decided, because of the nature of this project being so specific, it's better to go, I think, as a sole source instead of trying to put it out to bid again. So because of the uniqueness of the design, I mean, we've looked at this for quite a while. We've been waiting for it. The money's in the budget for this, and we're allowed to use this money comes from hotel motel tax that we collect, or that the county collects, and we get a small portion of that back. And so we have funds set aside for tourism, and that's what this could be used for.
So this doesn't come out of the general fund at all. It's coming out of that hotel.
No, it comes out of hotel motel tax. And Mandy, do you have anything you want to add to it? I know you have a lot of, you've worked with this.
To add to it?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we do have a lot of people come to the visitor center. Susan has started doing the gathering, which has grown to over 1,000 people attend that event. And with the proximity to the park, it will add more visitors and more tourism opportunities.
And that money we have to use for tourism related things. We can't use it for anything else, right?
Economic development, that's questionable. The state really, I mean, for all those that are coming on board now, adding hotel motel tax is specifically required for tourism.
Can we use it to improve the museum, the inside of the museum?
if you're, yes, we can, yes, if we need to. And I have done some of that already in the past. We used some money for some of the setup inside there. It's been limited, and we don't use a lot, but this is probably the biggest project that I think we've done, spending money on there. Part of the money we used to pay for to help the chamber office. So that's what we've used it for in the past. I've not really used it for any economic development. Maybe I think we got a sign one time for boards and packaging for trucks or something on Sage Road. That was about it. But almost everything else, we use some of the money for our retail recruitment. When we have a team that goes out to Las Vegas every year to have a booth, to get our name recognition out there. So we've used funds to pay for the travel out of tourism money. That's pretty much what most of that usually used for. And we do buy some things that promote White House through tourism by, like 1 year we bought little guitar and keychain type things, and we hand those out at our booth, and we use it to pay for the booth and for like a TV and stuff like that. We use out Vegas for the booth. So that's pretty much what we use the money for. But yeah, we do have the money. It's set aside. It's for tourism, and we think this would be a really great feature to add out there in front of that building.
And it's in front of the museum, correct? That's
Yes,
where it's
ma'am.
going.
It kind of goes off our logo, the White House Stagecoach Inn, even though the real Stagecoach Inn was built here on 31W. We have a historic sign out there in front of the laundromat that's out there. And it used to be for Biggs Automotive, but they tore that down. But the sign is there. But in 1985, the city, I just recently researched this because I had to research for TDAC. It's kind of interesting. They were going to put money towards building this new building. The chamber wanted to take on this project as a bicentennial project for the governors. I guess the governor requested cities to create bicentennial projects. And so the city decided to go that. The Chamber of Commerce did. And so they wanted to build it on this property that we had. And so the city ended up donating that property to put the building there. So it had a small chamber office, it was our library, and then a museum was upstairs. And that's how it started. And then eventually, when the library moved out, we remodeled it. And you have what you have today, a beautiful museum inside there, and a nice chamber office. So that's kind of the history of the building. But and when you look at our logos on all of our shirts, Terry's wearing one right now, and it shows on our logo that right behind you, you'll see the Stagecoach there in front of the building. And that's why we thought it would be really cool to add that feature to the building and make it look realistic.
Will this be lit, like from the front, so people can see it at night?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's protected. I'm
planning on lighting it. We're getting some accent lighting on it. I'm not sure how we're going to set that up yet. I got to get an electrician in there and have him take a look at it. But yeah, we would like some accent lighting.
How long did the manufacturer say this would last out in the heat, the sun, cold weather, and what maintenance would be required on it?
This is a little bit different build than what we looked at, but what we looked at, he said, was 5 to 7 years before it would need touch-up paint, but it's built to withstand the elements. And so they're outdoor features specifically. He said that I think he had been back to Portland one time to do touch-ups, and that project was completed, I believe, in 2018.
Yeah, he shows the material that they use to build these, and they use piping and stuff, and then they use foam material, and then they coat it with a really durable coating. Now the Stagecoach itself, I think he's talking about using a lot of wood in that, and creating that, so it will have to, I think it'll be painted and everything else, so we'll have to make sure we keep that maintained, but that's about it.
So people can go in and out of the Stagecoach, right?
That's the plan.
So when the chamber office and museum is closed, is it locked so that there's no vandalism to the inside? Because we do have some cross the street.
Yes, we'll have to. That's a good point.
I'm just curious. I would hate to pay money for something really nice for us to use for a long time, and it gets vandalized in the first week it's sitting there. I'm just curious how we protect it is all.
Yeah. We do have a camera system at the chamber, so we can add an additional camera to focus on just that piece.
With signage out there?
Yeah, it's lighting and the camera system's already in place. The, way that the project is presented, that door is not a functioning door, so that back opening is just an opening.
Okay.
So there's no way to secure it. But most of the, it's designed so that people can't easily climb on top or into the driver's seat. They can only climb into the parts that they're supposed to, the stagecoach itself.
I think the budget was for 50,000, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am, I have an electrical project we're gonna do at Americana, but I was gonna hold off on that project, cause we're under construction out there, I'm not sure when it's gonna get done. So that gives me, I think, over $70,000 available to me, which I think, that's what makes me think I can get the lighting done too, and pay for the stagecoach and the horses. We added 2 extra horses, pictures, kinda, can't really tell if there's 2 horses in that picture or 4, but the artist thought we were gonna pave the whole, we were gonna put a concrete pad underneath the whole thing, and he suggested we don't do that. By eliminating a lot of the concrete, he'll have, he said we could add the 2 extra horses, and he'll have, the horses will be on they'll have a base, concrete base underneath their paws and stuff. Probably underneath those wheels too. So, more of a natural look instead of, just sitting on a concrete pad.
Did we look at any other materials by chance, like bronze or anything like that? I know it wouldn't be functional, but it would be more ornamental. I think it might last a little longer.
It could, bronze could be pretty expensive, but we were trying to find something that's kind of functional for the tourism side of it, to get people to want to not just look at it, but want to get out and get photos with it. So, that was
And Mandy, this is gonna be positioned far enough over where it won't affect your signage or the front of the building or any of the character that we have?
Correct. We originally had looked at putting it directly in front, but then we have so many people that come and do photo shoots in front of the building, so we felt like putting it at the side at that angle would allow people to use several different views of the building for photo shoots and things like that. This will also allow us to list it with the state of Tennessee as a tourism asset, so it will give us additional exposure throughout the state when people are looking to come here and mapping out tourism trails and things like that.
That's great.
Any other discussion? All right, we got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, you got a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, motion carries. To approve or reject the bid from Magna Grip in the amount of $98,402 for a vehicle exhaust system for fire station number 1 and number 2. The fire chief recommends approval. Got a motion to discuss?
Motion to
Discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right. Chief?
Basically, cancer is the number 1 killer of firefighters, and diesel exhaust is known to carry cancer-causing agents. 1 in 5 firefighters will get cancer, and what this system does is it removes 100% of vehicle exhaust from the station. Prevents it from getting living quarters on their PPE and on them. That's basically what it does.
We don't have that now?
No.
We didn't get any bids from any companies inside of Tennessee. I saw this
This was the only bid we got.
or in Cincinnati. I know there are some companies here. So
There was a company local that we had been talking to when I was working on this budget last year, and they did not send in a bid.
So this is the only bid we got.
All right,
motion to approve.
all right, you got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. To approve or reject Wade's Lawn Services bid of $68,790 and authorize City Administrator Gerald Herman to enter into an agreement for lawn maintenance at various city properties. Administrative Services Director recommends approval. A motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
This is, Terry, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, you take it.
Yes, sir, you take that one. I was looking for Kevin, but.
So every 5 years, we have a contract for lawn mowing for several city properties, including the property that we're on now. This year we had, I believe, 5 bids submit. The lowest bid was Wade's Lawn Service, which is currently what we have now. Their bid, or their contract that we have right now is $60,000. So obviously they went up a little bit, which is understandable. They're the lowest, as you can see. The next lowest bid is $93,900. Since we've already been having a working relationship with Wade, we trust their work, so we think they can do it, since they're already doing it. There is a list, if you want to know what all properties are part of the contract. There's a list of all of them and their prices for each property there. And that's for the entire year.
And they don't cut all of our property.
No, there's some like
Like the ball fields, they don't know.
no, like inside the park, any kind of parks, they kind of do their own.
Yeah.
They at one point they did do the greenway trailheads, but I think they took back on those. I know for sure they do the Hope Park Cemetery. Wade does, which saves a lot of time and I guess money for their guys doing that.
I saw that the Byron property around the house and the barn is included. Valerie, I think you worked on that. Is that correct? So we have to maintain the house and the barn? Should get Mr. Byron to negotiate. Yeah. It's a pretty good deal. Do we have to take care of any of the other property, sort of maintenance on the actual house?
I think we're out of the structure of the house is on us, but like for plumbing, things like that, you know, normal things like that, that's on him.
How long have you guys been cutting for us? The last 5 years?
No, because we had so the past contract we had was 5 years. They cut for us probably 2 or 3 years prior to that. Kelton Brothers had the contract prior to them.
I guess we've weighed out the cost of cutting it ourselves. I'm assuming.
We don't have the
We don't have
staff.
the staffing, we don't have the equipment.
Enough equipment, we don't have any of that.
That's the cemetery, Kevin always tells me what a challenge that is.
Yeah.
That takes
all
some-
around all those things.
Yep. Any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject sole source purchase of a Yeoman's vertical non-clog pump for the North Palmer's Chapel vacuum sewer station from Wascon Sales in the amount of $80,385.53. Wastewater Director recommends approval. Got a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
All right.
So this is one of 2 sewer pumps that is required to operate our vacuum stations. Vacuum stations have a total of 7 pumps in operation. We have 2 of those across the city. This pump here is operational, the existing one. However, the volute, which is the housing, the cast iron housing around the impeller, has cracked. We've repaired it a number of times as best as we are capable, and it has reached the point of not being repairable by our crews any longer. This pump is required for operation of the station, and Yeoman's is the only fit that we can find for the existing spacing. It works as an inline pump. It has a flange connection on both ends, has a hard pipe in, hard pipe out. We have a relationship with this vendor as well. We use them as a supplier for several of our lift stations. Additionally, we do have Yeoman's pumps in operation. This one has been in operation for nearly 40 years.
How many years?
Nearly 40.
40,
The
okay,
station
good.
was built in the mid-80s.
Where are we on getting away from vacuum? I know we're down pretty low on the number of houses.
So that would be realistically a 12 to 20 year phased plan.
I know we were trying to get away from that, and we're down
We're
to
talking about 400 of our.
400 something houses, not
Customers
included.
say that.
440-ish. Our North Palmer station services right at 200 customers on vacuum. We are a long ways out from being able to completely remove that station from operation. We are operating on 1 pump at this station currently. It works normally, there's not an issue with that. However, if that pump fails, we do not have a means of operating this station without a backup pump.
Well, and lead time's 26 weeks, so we'd be in
Right.
trouble.
It is.
Yeah.
We have a plan in place for an additional patch to this, pump that the volute has cracked on. This has been done before and it has failed in the past. It is a stopgap measure, it is not a permanent.
When did it fail, by chance?
Most recent one within the last couple of months.
Okay.
And how old is this piece of equipment at the other pump station?
At the other station, it's of similar age, I think it's slightly newer. Those have been replaced in the past at that station. They are different sizes, these are not interchangeable.
That's the Calista Road one, right? We have two vacuum lift stations.
Right, okay.
And one North Palmer.
I'm just wondering if we're gonna have to replace another one.
Yeah, to do this again in a couple of years or not, yeah. All right, any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject Norris Brothers Excavating's bid of $1,375,640 and authorize City Administrator Gerald Herman to enter into an agreement contingent upon TDEC approval for the Southern Force Main Phase 4 project. Wastewater Director recommends approval. We got a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right, so this is the fourth of 5 phases for our new Southern Force Main project. This is an 18-inch line that gets installed, begins at our wastewater treatment plant and industrial drive. The end point will be Tyree Springs once we are done. Phase 4 runs from near the intersection of Sage and Cardinal Drive to near the intersection of McCurdy and Cedar Brook Road. This phase would include, Jason, what's the footage on this? 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet? It's a relatively straight shot. It does include one very small diameter, low pressure line that we were relocating, not necessarily because of this project, but in anticipation of the road widening, it will have to be moved. It's a 2-inch PVC line. We have two pipe material products that were evaluated. HDPE pipe, which would require 20-inch pipe, but it is a fusion welded pipe. It's continuous seam, there are no joints that can fail in it, versus our traditional PVC pipe, which would be 18-inch. We have PVC pipelines all over town. However, for the first 3 phases of this project, we have opted for the HDPE. It is a product we're very happy with so far. For context on potential failure of PVC, we had a 6-year-old 12-inch force main break last Thursday that our crew repaired that has seen negligible operation, and it failed at one of the gasketed joints.
I'd like to add to we didn't go with the lowest bid because lowest bid did not bid on the type of piping that we wanted. They went with the PVC, so we went up. Also like to add that this pretty much is going to be completely funded by this amount is by the TDEC grant that we have that we're in the process of. We've actually applied for it. We've already got it. So it'll be covered by grant money from the state.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
Any other discussion? Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Other business, to approve or reject Willis Towers Watson's recommendations for Cigna Healthcare for medical, vision, life, AD&D, and long-term disability insurance coverage, Abacus for short-term disability insurance coverage, and Delta Dental for dental insurance coverage for plan year ending March 31st, 2025. Human Resources Director recommends approval. We've got a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
Thank you. As you can see, we did have a small increase this year on our healthcare costs. Unfortunately, I think initially, Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, they came in with an 11% request on the renewal, and Todd was able to negotiate that down to 4.9%, which is far below what is current market trend, which I believe is up around 15%.
Between 12 and 15.
So we did still come in significantly lower than market rate trends. This will be our 8th plan year with Cigna. So we've maintained a relationship with them, which I think is one of the reasons why we were able to come in so much lower. This is also the first increase we've had in 3 years or so. So we did have market rates held, our rates held the last 2 previous years. And as my memo stated, one of the unique things with this particular plan is that we do get a refund every year of 50% of overages that are paid in for claims funding, which has accrued to approximately $655,000 over the last 8 years. That still holds true this year. This year, unfortunately, I think the number is going to run about 15,000. Will be our portion coming back, whereas last year it was 150,000. We've just had a more expensive year on claims. Nothing that is concerning at this point as far as long-term claims carrying over into next year. It's just been an expensive year. The only other increase was to our vision, which is employee only, paid for. It doesn't cost the city anything. There is a small increase there, but they did agree to a 3-year rate hold after this increase, so that won't change in the next 3 years.
These, is the city absorbing this increase? So
Yes,
the
sir.
employees are not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is my Jerry's intention is to absorb that increase as well.
When was the last time the employees had an increase in their, what they pay?
8, 9 years maybe?
At least.
So the money we get back, where does that money?
It comes back into the general fund.
General fund.
And it's spread out amongst the departments. Well, used to, it's spread out amongst the departments based on the individual departments. Now, I do believe Jason just receives it as a general revenue, but because it comes to us in a check form.
What we ran into is that there was a time when the health insurance was costing more than an increase than what the employee was receiving as a raise. So it was like they weren't getting any raise at all every year. That's where it went. But we have a pretty good premium plan, and I think it's one of our selling points when we're trying to recruit people to come here.
It is one of the #1 reasons we have applicants apply for our positions is our health insurance, which is posted on our website. Excuse me.
So I'm assuming we could use that money to offset the cost if the price increase.
Yes, sir.
About 30 points.
That's pretty much what it's used for, is to help offset that.
Gotcha.
Any other discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, to determine the level of debt service for road improvement projects discussed during the study session. Motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss?
Second?
Second?
All right. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Go.
There are a lot of projects that Jerry has brought forward to us. I think there's one for every ward plus. And I don't like a debt load of 24%. I would prefer that we raise taxes in order to pay for improvements to the road of
Well, I
Whitehall.
think we're gonna have the debt load regardless.
Regardless.
We just have to, yeah.
Even if we raise the property tax, we're still gonna have the debt service. It's still gonna be the same.
Yeah.
But we have the
Because
income
we're
coming
Right.
in.
Right.
To pay that.
To
pay it.
Right.
But we're still, the debt service is still gonna be 24%.
It is, but the revenue is coming in to
Right.
pay that.
Yeah.
We won't be going into debt.
Maybe I didn't hear this point, but was there an assessment done to, with everything being built, you know, we're gonna see increased numbers of property taxes coming in. Was there any, did that go towards that assessment?
We did discuss that, but I don't
Yes,
know.
I mean, every year, obviously, our sales tax has been increasing year over year. Property tax is increasing year over year, which helps cover the cost of employees, benefits, operational costs, as inflation has gone up. So the electric bill, gas bill, water bill, all that stuff. So it really, that's what's been able to keep us going without having to ask for taxes. Literally, if we didn't build a rec center, we wouldn't have had to ask for 25 cents. I mean, the board would have had to ask for 25 cents a few years ago. So it's really, as I said, this is a difficult decision for all of you to make, and we're going to go the route that you want to go. So all I know is that if you go with the approach model, which is what you asked for this year, you know, we could try to squeeze it into the budget. It may affect other capital projects, but it could possibly be done.
Then we're just squeezing it in year after year after year after year.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Approach number 2, you're definitely talking about needing some additional revenue coming in, that's gonna be more than what approach 1 would be. So, how do you get to approach 3 and approach 4 the same way? We would hope that if you wanted to go into that much debt, that you would offset it with a revenue stream and not just a bond to pay for it. Because that makes it look like our expenditures, if you take the bond out, it makes it look like our expenditures are more than our revenues. If you don't count the bond. So I think it's important for you to think about. If you want to try one and then hold off and try to do a referendum on the others, we can try to do that. Or, again, I'll say this, three of you have, okay, this is the way the state says it works. 3 of you have the ability to raise property taxes, which is absolutely amazing. It happens. And you also have the ability to decrease it if you want to.
No one wants taxes to be increased, and unfortunately, we are in a position where we have all of these houses with roads that can't handle the commuters that are coming in and out.
Right.
And to fix one here, over here,
Right.
then it's over here. I mean, all these projects are just going to tear up the city. I mean, that's my concern about doing this.
And I think we all realize that hindsight, the park should have probably paid for that, and Jackson Farm should have probably paid for the stuff on the list, but that ship has sailed, and we can't go back and fix that. So we've
been dealt a hand that we've got to deal with. So,
We either fix it or we continue to deal with it the way that it is.
And these are all safety issues, obviously, people continuously complain about 2 or 3 of them now and have been for a long time.
I would be in favor of somebody making a motion that punt this a month or 2, just so we've got time to discuss this with our constituents and kind of get a feel. I don't think we're going to really lose anything, will we, Jerry, by waiting a month or maybe even 2? Just to.
Do we need to
Look
make?
at my cost analysis guy there. What do you think, Jason?
Does this go into our budgeting for when we go to our budget retreat? We would need to know something by then. Yes, sir.
It would be definitely helpful to know the direction that you want to go at our budget retreat. We can discuss it because Jason and I have to, if we put a project in, like we told you last year, we're going to add Pleasant Grove Road into the budget, we have to have a source to pay for that. So we told you we would have to borrow money.
Right.
So that's truly where we're at. And, I kind of stepped outside the box by showing you approach 2, 3, and 4, but that's my responsibility as your city administrator to point out areas that need improvement, whether it be, roads or buildings, things of that nature, personnel, and that's what I try to do. So.
Our problem is we just have too much that needs to be done.
Yes, sir.
At one time, and unfortunately, that's the picture. Not much we can do about that. Here again, the hand we were dealt.
I think communication is going to be important.
Yeah,
I agree.
If you ask for a tax increase?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it's going to be hugely important.
We need
that
to
you
define.
explain to the public what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
I think it'd be good if we had at least a little bit of time to sort of get that out there and.
Put it on the agenda next month, or we can wait till after the budget retreat.
Motion move it to March or April or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Make a motion to defer till March meeting, March Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting.
You a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No discussion items, no other information, we're adjourned.
Right.
I knew it would catch up.